Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel English Vigadan. Today you are going to learn about everyday expressions. So in this topic you are going to learn about idioms, phrasal verbs, compound words, collocations. So they are all part of learning or enhancing vocabulary skills. So they are very essential as we use them in our day-to-day language. So that's why they are known as everyday expressions. Let's learn one by one. So first, idioms. So what are these idioms? So they are expressions used to mean different, that is figurative or indirect meaning. So they are also part of cultural usage. Some particular culture they use it. However, they mean non-literal, which means they do not give actual meaning of the words used in idioms. Sometimes they become figurative while retaining the literal meaning also, like a cutout. It can mean reject. So figurative meaning is different from the literal meaning most of the time, like flying colors. So if you work hard, you will come out with flying colors, means success here. The same way, I want you to write and give in black and white, which means I want you to write it clearly, transparent. So likewise, the meanings of the idioms most of the time are completely different and figurative, or they refer some connotation, some other meanings related to the culture. Some of the popular idioms are given here, like make a long story short, meaning tell something briefly. So I am going to make a long story short means I am going to tell something in short. Miss the boat. So if you come late, you will miss the boat. So it is too late. Bite the bullet, to accept something difficult or unpleasant. So no other way, you have to bite the bullet. So which means even if you don't like, you have to accept some advice. Turn a blind eye, that is ignore. Okay, so ignore something. Something you don't like, we turn a blind eye. A piece of cake, which means very easy. It's not a piece of my cake. Suppose something you are not interested but you are asked to do, then you can make a comment like this: it is not my piece of cake. Or even you have cup of tea. This is not my cup of tea. Let the cat out of the bag. That means revealing the secret. Judge a book by its cover. So don't judge a book by its cover. Sometimes it is also used as a proverb. So you shouldn't judge by the appearance. Beat around the bush. That means be in the point. Okay, to the point. Don't explain too much. So some of the popular idioms used in everyday expressions. Next, in this everyday expression, we have collocations. Okay, so collocation is very important because we need to use the words correctly. So it's not about one word, group of words, okay, chunk of words. So when they occur together or co-occur more than we would expect, so frequently, so they are known as collocations. So two or more words that often go together. So you can see few words here. Make a bed. So when you want to sleep, you say you make a bed. When you want to ask somebody to do homework, you say doing homework. I am doing homework. So when you want to tell that time is important, you say save time. Okay, then you do some cooking. Then I am doing the dishes. Then some advice you need, then give someone advice. So these are the way these combination go together most of the time. That's why they are known as collocations. Now some of the important collocations. See, their collocations are natural English. They are part of natural English because native speakers speak, they choose the words in that way. Okay, they don't say quick train, they say fast train. They don't say quick food, fast food. So we also have to speak or say like that, fast food. So I am going to eat fast food, not quick food, because the native speakers of English use fast food and not quick food. The same way, quick shower or quick meal. So they are only used, they are used as they are because native speakers speak like that. Now combinations. What are the combination of collocations? So collocations are combined or used together of different parts of speech. Here adverb and adjectives. Completely satisfied, richly decorated, fully aware of the implications. So if you say first, completely is an adverb, richly is an adverb. So like this, with the adverb also we can use, combine with other parts of speech collocations. Adjective and noun. See, regular exercise, maiden voyage, excruciating pain. So here regular, maiden, excruciating, all are adjectives telling some quality. Okay, exercise, voyage, pain, they are nouns. Noun and noun also can be used, like a round of applause, ceasefire agreement, bars of soap. If you see round, ceasefire, bars, they are all nouns. The same way, applause, agreement, soap, they are also nouns. So these expressions also used frequently. Noun plus verb. The lion roars. We don't say the lion shouts. The dog barks. Snow falls. So here snow, dog, lion are nouns. Roars, barks, falls are verbs. So they both are used, frequently. So they are known as collocations. Verb and noun also. Committing murder. We don't say mistake murder or do murder. Okay, commit crime or commit murder. Homework, you say do homework, not make homework or commit homework. Okay, do my homework. I do my homework. But we don't say I do my bed. I make my bed. I give a presentation. I make a presentation. Okay, here why do we say give a presentation but make my bed, do my homework? Because this way only English speakers, native speakers, they speak. So when they want to say about presentation, they say give a presentation. When they want to say about murder, they say commit murder. They don't say make murder. Okay. The next, verb expression with the preposition. Okay, some verbs are used with the preposition as a collocation, like run out of money, filled with horror, burst into tears, drive anybody to crime. So they have special meaning. Burst into tears, crying, filled with horror, terrified. Run out of money means no money. Verb plus adverb. Placed gently, whispered softly, vaguely remember. So when you say vaguely remember, I remember very little of the past. So here vaguely, whispered, placed. So they are all, placed, whispered, remember are verbs. Gently, softly, vaguely are adverbs. So they are combined and used as collocations. Now some of the special usage of collocation with the have. So we use most number of nouns with the have, like have a bath, have a drink, have a good time, have a holiday, have a relationship, have lunch, have a haircut, have a problem, have a rest, have sympathy. So like this, with the have also we can use like this many words. So they collocate together. Next with the do, okay, do business, do nothing, do someone a favor, do the homework, do the washing, etc. Then you have with the make a difference, make a mistake, make an effort, make money, make room. With the take also we can use nouns to make collocation. Take a break, take a book, take a seat, take an exam. We usually say write exam. So it is always better to say take an exam as used by the native speakers. With the catch a ball, catch a chill, catch a thief, catch a sight of, catch a bus, I want to catch a bus, catch a cold, sometimes we get cold, so you should say I caught a cold. With the pay also we can use lot of words. Pay a fine. Instead of saying give a fine, pay a fine. Pay interest, pay attention, pay cash. With the save, we can use so many words. Save electricity, save someone, save space, save time, etc. With the keep also, keep a diary, keep a promise, keep quiet, keep a charge. With the compound words. So next, compound words are also part of everyday expressions because they are also used together. Let's see. They are very common in technical writing. Why we learn compound words? Because they promote easy readability and they help to avoid wasting time and effort. So we can use them for use them very quickly. Compound words have different parts of speech. So we can combine words from different parts of speech like a collocation in compound words also. Steam engine, blackboard. See, black is an adjective, board is a noun. Earthquake, earth is a noun, quake is a verb. Passport, both are, pass is verb, port is a noun. Washing machine, see, washing is a gerund, machine is a noun. Letter writing, letter is a noun, writing is a gerund. Ing form used as a noun, so we call it gerund. Overconfidence, over is an adverb, confidence is a noun. Then you have phrasal verbs. They are also important everyday expressions. So what are the phrasal verbs? So phrasal verb means verb plus particle. So here particle means nothing but preposition or an adverb. So if you add a preposition or adverb to a verb, they are known as phrasal verbs. Like put is a verb, off is a particle. But when I say put off, the meaning is different. I put off my trip means I postpone my trip. Next you have some of the examples of phrasal verb. Like put off already have seen. Put on meaning is different. See the same verb put. But when we add a different preposition, the meaning is also different. Put on, to cover your body with the cloths. But when you say put back, to return something. Put away, store something. So like this is an importance of phrasal verbs. So you have the verb, maybe the same verb but use different preposition, the meaning will change. Some of the phrasal verbs and their meaning. With the keep you have. When you say keep on, continue. And another sense, when you say keep on, don't remove, let it be there. Take off means remove. Another meaning, take off, I am taking off means taking leave. So same phrase can be used with a different meaning also. Some of the phrasal verbs using the word back, bring back, call back, come back, get back, give back, like that. So meaning is different. Pay back, put back, sit back, take back, turn back. So when you say bring back, I want it again. So call back, call him again. Come back, come again. So like that we have meanings for these phrasal verbs with the back. Then you have with and off. See, drop out of. So when you say drop out of, he stopped studying. Okay, get out of, go away, move out of, run out of. So their meaning is entirely different. So they are also very popular phrasal verbs. So I think we have come to the last of these everyday expressions. By learning these phrasal verbs, idioms, compound words, collocations, we now have different methods of learning words and enhancing our vocabulary skills. In that way we become proficient in English. So for this purpose I would advise you So learn lot of collocations. You will find when you read a book or when you read an article in a journals or magazines, or when you read your textbook, you will find, okay, collect them. So all the collocations, phrasal verbs and idioms, so your language will become proficient and will be ornate in this way. I hope this is just outline of everyday expressions. So you have a long way to go. So next time you should be able to express when you speak English the words, the usage of words correctly with one word with another word. Thank you for listening. See you in the next video. Goodbye.